Hi, my name is Nate Heppard, and I worked with Shapirov to create Deal or No Deal using PHP. There's only two of us in the group, so we split up the tasks pretty evenly. Yeah, Yvonne did the majority of the programming as lead programmer, and I was in charge of design and secondary programming. So this is the basic structure of the program. The user begins at the index.html page. They're presented with two options. One is the login and one is the register. Both access a users.txt file that serves as a database for the program. Once the user registers, they'll be taken back to login.php where their login is validated and they can select a case to begin the game. Once a case is selected, they will continue to the main part of the game, and then there are three alternate endings for the main game program. And then each of the files has access to an assets folder for basic graphics and backgrounds. Alright, so I'll quickly go over the register and login pages. On the register page, the user is presented with a username and password text area. They enter their credentials here and they are taken to register user. If these are both set correctly, the page will will access the users.txt file and will write to it. And then the user is taken back to the login page. They can re-enter these credentials and they will have their credentials validated. If they exist, then the game will move to the GameCaseSelect.php, and if not, an appropriate error message will be displayed. So right here we have the GameCaseSelect.php. We do use sessions to keep track of information between pages as the game progresses. So we start a new session here. Then we have a start function that initializes the current cases, which are all initialized to 0 to represent that they have not been opened, 1 meaning that they have. We have an array of case values that represent the numeric values for each case. We log these to the session and then we shuffle the case values and the game begins. We move over to the main game code. So right here we begin our session again. We check if a case has been selected initially. The selected case can then be shown, the case value and the case number. And then this is the main turn logic that controls when offers are presented, the final round, and the moving forward with each turn. So this page contains three main functions. One is the offer function here, one is the final round, and one is the next turn. The next turn is used most often. It simply progresses the game. The user is allowed to select one of the available cases besides their own that they selected on GameCaseSelect.php. These cases are shown in a table with radio input buttons for selection. Once the case is selected and a certain number of turns have passed, the user will be presented with an offer. The offer is calculated using a simple algorithm in calculate offer. This is then presented to the user and they have the ability to either accept the offer or decline. If they accept, then they will be taken over to a new page, and if they decline, then gameplay will resume as normal. In the final round, the player will be able to swap for the final remaining case, or they will be able to keep their case. So in the event the player decides to accept one of the deals presented by the baker, they'll be taken to GameOverAccept.php right here. The final offer amount will be shown here, and then they will be presented with a simple congratulations message, and then they will be told what their original case had. And here we have a simple form with a button that will take them to the leaderboard page, which we'll take a look at in just a second. If the player progresses till the very end of the game, they will be able to keep their case, in which case they will be taken here Again, the same congratulations message is shown, and they will be told what the other case had that they did not choose to swap for. Again, we have the leaderboard button right here. And then game over swap is essentially the reverse of game over keep. Right. So the leaderboard is the final page in the gameplay session. It simply shows the top 10 scores for players. And these scores are kept in a simple text file named leaders.txt. Just a quick look here is the CSS sheet used throughout the program. Alright, so right here we are at the index.html page. We have the login and register buttons. If we wanted to register, we could click here. We're presented with a nice image of Howie Mandel. I'll enter a new one just for the sake of this video. Alright, we register, and we're taken back to the login. We can re-enter these credentials and hit login, and we are presented with a little welcome message, and that includes our username. So here we can select a case from 1 through 26. We'll go ahead and select 3. And here's the main game page. So we have all the cases lined up here in the table. We have a table representing the total values and the ones that have already been opened. Right now, none of them have been selected. Right here we have an area for the case images. So we're going to go through here, and we're going to play through. But right here we have the graphic. We can see that the 1 million slot has been highlighted to show that it's been opened, and we can choose one of the remaining cases. So I'm going to go ahead and play through until I get an offer from the banker. Alright, so the last case we opened had $500,000. The banker is currently making us an offer of $25,000 roughly. So we're going to go ahead and say deal so we can see the end page here. Right, so we're shown how much we've won. Our original case only had $750, and now we can go to the leaderboard, and we can see again our current score, and we did not place on the leaderboard. Right, so we're going to pick another case here. We'll do 6. We're going to play through again. This time we're going to play till the very end, and we're going to keep our case. So we're going to open our case here. Alright, we had the case that had $500,000. And the other case we can see had 500. We can go to the leaderboard again. And now we can see that the high score on the leaderboard. Alright, so we're going to pick one more case again. This time we'll do 9. We're going to go through till the end, but this time we're going to swap for the last case. Alright, so we're at the very end here, and we're going to swap our case. Alright, cool. So we got the $250,000 case, and our case only had $7,500. We're going to go back to the leaderboard, and we can see again that we got on the leaderboard. So one thing to note is that we're currently still working on this. Some things that we'd like to fix in particular are the banker's algorithm for the offers. And then another thing is currently we can't use JavaScript. So if we were to continue this project, I'd like to include some JavaScript to control the audio and maybe add some more advanced visual effects. So that's about it. If you have any questions, you can contact either Yvonne or me. And thank you for watching.